You may remember last time, here on the MT and Me, we got power back in Pearl. We put a brand new battery in her, and about half of her accessories are now working, including half of the headlights. This one is fine. Great, bright, dim, on command. The one on this side, not so fine. So today, we're going to try and figure out what's wrong. Thanks again for joining us here on the MT and Me, and welcome back, my nomies. So, puzzling problem. Now, originally, about a month and a half, 2 months ago, when we first powered up Pearl with the battery that ended up being bad, this headlight came on for a minute and then the bulb burned out. It had too much moisture in it. Well, the one on this side never did come on, and I just assumed the bulb was bad. So, ordered a couple of brand new bulbs, that one and this one, which I'm still assuming is good. But when I put it in over here, still no power. Okay, not to be worried. Trusty voltmeter. Turn the lights on. Check the connections here. No power showing up there. Well, that's about where I quit last time. So, since then, I've done a little checking. You knew this was coming, didn't you? Yes, I did a little bit of checking. And I happen to have a complete electrical schematic for Pearl. This is looking at the lights on the front end with the two headlights here and here, down here. And you can trace the wiring out to find out where they go. That's what I need to do to check all the wiring. Now, the thing about this wiring is that there are actually 3 connections on each light. One of them is a ground. It goes straight to chassis, and that's connected on both sides. It's fine. But then there's a red and a black, and one of those is the low beam signal. One of those is the high beam signal. To be perfectly honest, I'm not sure which is which, but it really doesn't matter, because if one works, the other works. They go through the same switch. Now, the main thing here is when you trace the wiring down for this headlamp and this headlamp, the first thing they do is come together in this connector right here, which is one of these connectors right here that goes through the firewall. So in other words, the lights are directly connected in parallel to one another, and there's nothing in between those points where they connect. There are no fuses, no fusible links, no additional connections. So really, if the wiring is sound, if one works, the other should work. But I'm not getting voltage over here. That's telling me that there's a wiring issue. So the first thing I think I'm going to do today is take this bulb back out and plug this one in and be sure it's good also. Got it out. Got the new one. The other new one. don't want to install it, but I want it to hold in place. Now let's go see if it works. That's a Roger. Okay, so we have two good bulbs. Now the question is, why is this one working and that socket not? I told you the wires connect together directly. So let's check continuity between this plug and that plug. Let's turn this off first. Okay, meter is set up just for a continuity check. If the wires are good, we get a beep. Let's try red to red. As soon as I untangle the black wire from the red one. Okay, red to red. I'm not hearing anything. There should be a beep. There's not. Let's try black to black. Let's try that again. Let's try. Okay, with me tripping over my words and the truck going by, let's try black to black. Again, there's nothing. That begs the question, why do I not have continuity? And that means I'm going to have to trace down some wire. The one thing I really didn't want to have to do. I'm not sure how much of this you're going to be able to see. This is our connection right here. This is the wire bundle. Now this goes to the parking light blinker assembly that I mentioned, I think in the last video, is actually located in the bumper, which is removed. It plugs in there, so we're not worried about that. But in the same bundle is this connection, which is the headlamp, except for the ground wire, which goes right over here and connects to the body, okay? So, all that's taken care of. This actually goes over here to a side lamp on the side of the fridge, side marker. Anyway, this is our bundle right here. Now, it goes through this, and it goes up here, and, oh, can you see that? I think I just found our problem. This wire is completely severed here. It has literally been, it looks like it's been snipped. And it would appear that all of the wires in that bundle, well, there may be one that's still connected, but they're all cut. I really did not expect to find the problem this quickly. I'm certainly glad I have. It's just a funny problem. So, now, I know what I got to do. I just have to put all those wires back together. That sounds simple enough, doesn't it? Trouble is, I don't have a whole lot of slack. So, this is going to be tricksy. Okay, we start by cutting everything. That'll give us access to the wires. And I think there's only 3 of them. Well, I stand corrected. There are 4 of them. So, still not bad. I was afraid it was going to be a whole bundle, you know. Okay. I think these 2216 connectors will do just fine. Be sure these are on securely, because you may remember last week I had to reconnect the chassis ground to the battery because that wire had pulled out of one of these. So we don't want that happening again. No. Before I go any further, just to double check before I go get this whole thing wired up, I'm going to assume that the black and red wires are the same ones that carry to the headlight, and we're going to check for continuity with this other plug again. I just don't want to get it all put together and then have it not work. Know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, it doesn't work until I turn the continuity on. Let's try that again. Bingo! And the black. Which one is the black? Okay. What a beautiful sound. Okay, peoples. We have the correct wires. We're working in the right place. All we have to do now is strip these back and hook them into these. And then we should be able to put these both headlights back in and have everything working. Right. Okay, now let's just be sure I get the right colors matched up. And where 4 were broken, now all are reconnected. Red to red. Yes! And I'll plug in the black while I'm over there. And check. Black. Yes. Okay. Alright, 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 alright. Now, we should be able to put 2 headlamps in, and Pearl will have both eyes working normally. This is exciting, man. I feel like I've really accomplished something today. Yeah. This is dielectric grease. I think I've mentioned it in previous videos. We're going to put a little bit on the contacts on the bulbs so that they'll slide in a little easier, and it also helps to waterproof the connection and make for a better connection. And now, the moment of truth. Are the headlights going to work? How about that? Okay, so Pearl has eyes, and I couldn't be happier about it. Now, here's the other thing. Repairing this wire, remember there were 4 wires in there. The red and the black go to the headlamps, but there's also a green, actually a dark green and a light green. Now I would be willing to bet those are these right here. There's dark green and there's light green. That goes to the blinkers, parking lamps, whatever you want to call them, you know, that are in the bumpers. So my point is, without fixing that wire, the parking lamp blinker would not have worked either on this right side, nor would the little running light right here that I told you about on the side of the fender. So, by fixing those wires, that little wire bundle, we have repaired 3 lights in 1. I feel like that's a pretty good day's work, you know. And once again, I really did not anticipate that tracing down the problem would be so easy. I mean, it was just right there glaring at me once I started tracing across the wire that was cut. And that was obviously the issue. So, I hope the rest of the issues I had come across in Pearl, or have already come across, will be just as easy to spot and repair. For now, I think it's going to be time to say so long for this week, because the katydids are getting about as loud as I am. It's just that time of evening with the sun getting down, but at least it's not miserably hot out here right now, and we've actually got a little bit of rain in the forecast, so maybe we'll get a day or 2 of relief from this terrible heat wave that's gripping the Mid-South, all across the Mid-South, all into the Southwest too, Texas, and even up through the Rocky Mountains into Idaho and Montana. Places where it never gets hot. They're getting temperatures near 100 degrees. In Montana, come on, get real. They don't have summer up there like we do down here, but they're getting it this year. So much for El Nino and global warming. 2 words that we're probably going to be talking a lot about here on EMT and Me, in the near future at least anyway. One more thing I do want to mention. I told you I was going to keep this battery charged. I checked the voltage of the battery right before I ever started today. Remember, it should be about 12.5, 12.6 volts. That's a fully charged battery. This one is just under 12 now. It's like 11.92, I believe, is what my multimeter said. So it is discharging a little bit, and just sitting here doing nothing for a week, and my turning the headlights on and off and stuff like that. Okay, there's no alternator to charge it up, so I'm going to put a trickle charge from the battery charger on it, and that way we'll get it back up to a full charge and keep it that way. And Pearl will have the power she needs when she needs it. Hope you have a powerful week coming up, and I hope you'll join us again next time around here on the MT and Me. Each and every Sunday morning, we come to you with another big adventure of me and the MT, hence the name. In the meantime, if you're not a subscriber, I would really love for you to be one. Just click that little button where it says subscribe down there below. Also below, you're going to find links to the mtandme.com, a link where you can buy me a coffee if you'd like to help with the Pearl Restoration Project monetarily. We'd certainly appreciate that too. And also the address of our Facebook page as well, so you can follow along. We'd love to have you along for the ride and joining us each and every week. Okay. Thumbs up, like, share, subscribe if you haven't, and be here every Sunday morning on the MT and Me. Till next time around, with 2 working headlights, I'm Russ. We will talk later.